Are you willing to look useless in the eyes of the world in order to be useful to God? That was a great invitation from today's devotional. And it's interesting how God will speak, because I woke up this morning really just being tormented in my dreams. And the beautiful gift about like just intimacy with God and being in the Word and just spending time in relationship with Him is that God gives us all the tools that we need to battle, right? And so when we do feel ourselves being under attack, we can know how to respond, how to war in the Spirit. And that's one of the things that He just keeps showing me more and more and more, that like, I'm training you up. And I feel so ill prepared. And yet God's like, but I see your heart, just keep going. And I think that's a word for maybe somebody else here who feels like, you're growing and you're learning, but maybe not at the pace or the speed you like, and you feel just so inadequate and such a baby. And God's like, that's okay. Like, I just want you to continue to hunger after me, after my way, after my truth, after who I am, right? And so today I just want to share a little bit from the passage or from this devotional. And what was interesting again, so in my dream, I mentioned I was just I woke up feeling attacked and started praying. And immediately after I woke up and as I was meditating, God brought me to John 7:38. And I'm going to read it actually directly from the Bible. And then I'll jump over to my devotions, which also noted this same scripture. And so it says, the one who believes in me. So first off, let's go to 37, verse 37. On the last and most important day of the festival, Jesus stood up and cried out, "If anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. The one who believes in me, as the scripture has said, will have streams of living water flow from deep within them," or flow from their belly, which means the innermost place. And so the devotional said, Jesus will pour out rivers of living water through you all the time, y'all. And by His mercy, you will not know what He is doing. And it talks about how just this call to be rightly related with God, and how God doesn't want our service, over a relationship, right? So many people will have a tendency to place service before a relationship. And God's like, no, relationship is always the first and foremost. And then it goes on to talk about how beware of people who make usefulness their standard. If usefulness is the measure of our success, then Jesus Christ was the greatest failure who ever lived. Because if we look at how Jesus spent His life, especially the 3 years when He was doing His public ministry, the world would call that a failure. All He did was walk around and talk to people.